Howdy friends, my name is Mike. I'm a videographer and a dad, and I'm on a mission to show my family all the cool places here in Nevada. And today we're going to School Bus Canyon in a Bronco and a Tacoma and a RZR. We're going to see which one is the most fun for this kind of trip. Stay tuned. To get out to School Bus Canyon starts here off of Highway 447 just north of Pyramid Lake. If you want to go out there, I have a full guide on the website allterrainfam.com. I'll put a link down in the description. There's photos and a text description and GPS tracks and everything. So for this trip we were fortunate enough to have 3 really cool and capable off-road vehicles to transport us out there. Unfortunately, only one of them was mine. So we had my 2017 Tacoma TRD Off Road, and if you've been following this channel, you know that this is what I like to call tastefully modified. We also had my dad's RZR, and if you've been following the channel, you also know that this is modified to the point of being in monster mode. We also had this brand new Ford Bronco Outerbanks edition that was on loan from ARB for a video we shot for 4-Wheel Parts. If you want to learn more about this vehicle and all the cool stuff that's on it, Harry wrote a really detailed article that's over on The Dirt, which is the 4-Wheel Parts blog. The video will be up there soon as well. Now, the lead for this video, I'll admit, is a little clickbaity, but there are pros and cons to each of these vehicles for a trip like what we're doing today. The RZR is fast and fun, and you can get out to School Bus Canyon in the shortest amount of time with the biggest grin on your face, and there's nothing anywhere on the trail here, or honestly anywhere else, that's going to slow you down much at all. On the other hand, it's cold, or it's hot. It's always dusty, it's always loud, and it has to come on a trailer, and you can't drive it on regular roads. The Tacoma is comfortable and capable and has a lot of storage in the bed for gear, food, and toys, but the back seat is a little bit cramped because it's a pickup truck. Because it's got a little longer wheelbase, the breakover angle is not as good, and it's got overhangs on the front and the back that are not quite as good, so it's kind of a disadvantage in that regard. The Bronco has all the benefits of a compact SUV like our old 4Runner, with the added benefit of a new, cool design with a lot of great tech features. This one has a longer wheelbase, infinite upgradability and modularity, the amazing EcoBoost power plant and 10-speed transmission. It's got the ability to run 35-inch tires right from the factory. This one has the added benefit of being fully equipped with absolutely everything the ARB makes for the new Ford Bronco. On the other hand, cargo space is extremely limited, and there's no rear access without first opening the hatch with the tire on it and then flipping up the top. You can't flip up the top because the tire's in the way. And 35-inch tires, like 10-gallon hats, don't make you no cowboy. The Bronco has a lot of really cool tech, from the adaptive cruise control to the cameras that show you a 360 view of what you're doing, to the high beams that dim automatically, and just a bunch of really cool stuff. However, some of that stuff is buried in menus. It can be hard to figure out how to turn stuff on and switch stuff over. And so unless you're willing to dig through the manual and read the directions, it can be overwhelming. Fortunately, all these vehicles do pretty well in the sand, so we had some fun scooting across the sandsy section as we were crossing the lake bed. I will note, one other cool feature of the Bronco is the trail turn assist. When that's on and you crank the wheel to lock, it brakes the inside rear wheel and cuts your turning radius way, way down. My dad's old Bronco was absolutely notorious for having a great turning radius, even though it was more or less a full-size vehicle. So this was a feature that was kind of a necessity on the new Bronco. And honestly, having a tight turning radius is one of the most important features you could have when you're off-roading, and something that you'll use almost every time you go out. The first stop here is the Mgl Mine Site. The kids love climbing around on this and exploring the ruins and structures here. It's also a perfect place to stop for lunch, and it's about halfway to the school buses. Here you can see that just because the Bronco has bigger tires and shorter overhangs, it doesn't necessarily have better approach and departure angles than the Tacoma, because the Tacoma has more suspension lift. This isn't a knock on the Bronco at all. I'm just pointing out that there are more considerations than just tire size. The RZR has so much clearance that line choice and driving skill isn't much of an issue here. You just mash the pedal and hold on. The Tacoma, on the other hand, took more consideration. Danielle drove the Tacoma all day, including through the one rock crawling obstacle, which was the gnarliest thing she's ever driven in this vehicle. She did really well, and I'm super stoked.
Oh, no. Straight this way. Straight towards me. Yep. Turn more. Yeah, come back, Pat. Get back, driver, a little bit.
All you need.
You're good there. That way. Yep, keep coming.
Danielle had it on MTS mode, and you can see that traction control feature working when the wheels slip slightly here and there.
Yep, looking good. Excellent. Back driving more. Perfect.
Note here how the truck still has a few inches of clearance left before the slider hits that rock.
Yep, beautiful. Perfect. Good job.
The Bronco has a full complement of armor from ARB, including skid plates underneath, as well as the Summit front bumper and the Zenith rear bumper, as well as the Zenith rock slider. So I wasn't super concerned about, damaging the body or anything critical. At the same time, this is a vehicle that they built to take pictures of and to be featured in magazines and to be in videos. So I was pretty sure they didn't want a bunch of dents and scratches in their merchandise. So, anyway, I guess I ended up hitting the slider. It'll buff out, right?
No, just a little bit. Yep, back a little bit more. Keep coming. All right, now turn down. Yep. Good. Perfect. You're good. Keep on going. All right, so we had another good day on the road in Nevada. In School Bus Canyon, we did some rocks, we did some fast speed stuff, we had lunch and cookies and donuts, and we tested these 3 cool vehicles. So, which is better for this kind of stuff?
RZR.
I'd have to say Tacoma. Bronco's nice, but I still like my Tacoma. All right, thanks for watching. Happy trails. Bye-bye.